Hi, this is Kim Verdensky, your Composition 1 instructor. I just want to congratulate everyone that got their humanities essay submitted on time. You put your right hand on your left shoulder and your left hand on your right shoulder and give yourself a hug and say, good job. If you didn't happen to get your essay submitted yet, that's okay. You too can put your right hand on your left shoulder and your left hand on your right shoulder and give yourself a hug that it will be okay. The drop box is still open and you can please go ahead and submit as soon as possible. We are moving into our new unit, which is going to be social sciences. So it's really important that everybody is up to date and doing their best to move forward in a consistent pace. So tonight I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to explain to you where we are in the social science unit and what students should be working on. So give me just a moment. I'll go ahead and share my screen with you. And we're going to start at the home page of our course. So if you are following along with this in your course, that's great. One thing I do always like to point out is that SBC is always looking to help students be successful. So we have on-the-spot tutoring in Zoom rooms. It'd be like a traditional walk-in, how can I help you sort of situation, but it's all digitally, of course, and using Zoom. So you can register for that here. Take advantage of these opportunities. Even if it's just a quick question on, hey, does this paragraph make sense? Or I don't understand what my psych instructor wants me to do, or my gosh, this math problem doesn't make any sense. Ask someone for help. There are people everywhere to help you. Okay, so just because we're virtual does not mean that we aren't here for you. We're just here for students in a different way. So reach out, get help, don't be silent. Okay. The next thing I want to go ahead and do is point out some additional resources on upcoming events. Resume writing, because we are here not just to be successful academically, but the ultimate goal is that we are successful in life. So your current courses might be helping you prepare for your next big job or an interview. So get help with that resume. Resume writing changes. Resume expectations have changed. I know in the 10, 15 years that I have been comfortable within my positions, I haven't written a resume. And I looked at doing a couple different things last spring and was really surprised that the whole format has evolved. So please make sure that if you are hunting for a job, you think about evolving your resume. And maybe jump in on this workshop tomorrow between 11 or at 11 or 6 p.m. Also, yoga, virtual yoga might be something to help ease your mind and help students calm themselves with all of the expectations. Yes, things are stressful. Yes, things can be different. And these are all parts of life that we do have to find what works for us to deal with them. And yes, certainly things might be more difficult now than they were a year or 2 years ago. But we do still have to try to do our best to make the most of all of it. So maybe yoga is the thing to help you. So that is also tomorrow at 6 p.m. Obviously, we can't be writing a resume and doing yoga at the same time, but both are available. Okay. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to go into our course. And as I open up our course, I'm going to change my eyeballs over so that we all see the same thing, so that I'm viewing it as a student. So Composition 1 is a beginning year course, and with that, the college is asking all of the students to participate in a survey to help us better understand what students need. Please take the time to complete this survey. I know our time is valuable, and I often am frustrated when I take my dog to the vet, and next thing I know, I've got a text message, hey, fill out this survey. No, I don't really want to fill out a survey. I can't offer you any kind of reward or anything for doing this, except that the reward is the college then is able to better serve our customers, you, the student. So please complete the survey. We are also offering awareness for suicide prevention and response. with these increased stresses that we have all been experiencing, there has unfortunately been an increase in suicide rates as well. So the past 6 months have been really difficult. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, you're not alone. The college is offering these courses for students, staff, faculty, all of the Pinellas County or the SBC community. So take advantage of it. It's free. Yeah, it does require a little bit of time, and it does require that we pre-register. So check out the link and get yourself registered if you think that this could be something that could benefit you or anyone that you know or love. We unfortunately missed the first offering, which was September 18th, but there will be additional offerings on the 23rd of October, the 28th of October, the 2nd or the 19th of February, and then on April 16th. Okay. Below that item in our news area, which as you all have noticed, I like to use frequently to add things as I find them. Great little YouTube video. I thought this gentleman did a great job for revisions, and the link that I'm referencing for the gentleman from that previous video is right here. Okay, so this particular link discusses revision processes that will be a great asset to you for this course, for Comp 2, for your psych course. It's all about basic revision processes. So I would encourage you to maybe tab this URL, or I know there's an area on the page that doesn't even allow you to download the information as a PDF. So you might want to look into doing that. Remember, we don't really have a big textbook. So anytime I'm putting up a link, it's really our course content, our text that is going to be helpful to help you be successful. Okay, so that was just some general housekeeping stuff to make sure everybody is staying connected. In your calendar, I have gone ahead and updated everything that's going to be due for the social science unit. Okay, so the social science unit deals with any topics that are important to people. So it could be just about anything. I do put a few limitations on the assignment because we have to be able to address 2 solutions in 600 to 800 words. That's kind of a lot to do in a small amount of words. So please make sure that we follow our guidelines and follow the expectations for choosing a topic. That's your basic requirement for this week, is that we start thinking about exploring this new unit. We have a social science reading. So just like we did with the humanities unit, you're going to read a text and you're going to respond to the text. However, in this one, we are doing APA formatting. So many students are not familiar with APA, and it's just slightly different than MLA, which we used for the first essay. That OWL resource will continue to be a great resource. So OWL, that online writing lab at Purdue, definitely a huge resource. We will definitely keep using it for the APA formatting. I've also included a link about using paraphrase and summary, not just direct quotes. This is a huge goal all semester long for us. I sound like that car salesman. Huge goal. Okay, so our huge goal for the semester is to paraphrase and summarize, not just use direct quotes. So this link will review that information with you. And then the second link gives you a PDF about, once you have that paraphrase and summary, how do I integrate that into my paragraph? And we do that through a process that we're going to call PEEL. PEEL stands for point, evidence, explain, link back to your point, or link back to your next piece of evidence. Evidence, again, can be a paraphrase and a summary. It does not just have to be a direct quote. So for this first reading and response assignment, you're going to choose one of these 6 pieces and identify what you believe the author's purpose is and why is it a social concern. This should all still be done in third-person narration. Follow APA format, well-drafted, academic language, and then submit it. The guidelines for our essay, we like to think of the big picture. So the formal essay that we'll be doing approximately 4 weeks encourages you to start by looking at the Pew Research Center to choose a topic. In choosing a topic, you do not have to choose from Pew, but it is a great place to start. Also, students may not write their paper about political candidates, gun laws, or abortion, as the topics are too large for a well-focused 600 to 800 word solution-based essay. Okay, so remember, we're focusing on the solutions. If we take a look at the rubric for the assignment, which is down a little bit further, rubric. As you can see as I was scrolling, there are a number of additional links in that description area. As a student, you should definitely be engaging with and reviewing all of those links. I'm scrolling by them because I just want to, really review some of the major points with everybody and set you on the right direction. And then as a student, I'm going to walk through each section of every page and every lesson to make sure I'm well prepared. So the rubric for this assignment should look familiar. It's very similar to what we did for the humanities unit. Starts with the organization, moves into introduction and conclusion. However, instead of visual vocabulary, we're now talking about our first solution, our second solution, and then your conclusion is really the thought-provoking, which one of these solutions might we first initiate? Why is this so important? What is the public's next step? Okay, so that would be the conclusion based upon these first and second suggestions for a solution to our problem. Then we have the APA citation references and then academic expression. Hopefully with recognizing that, again, we're focusing on this solution. So the meat of your essay should be the bulk of the essay. If we're talking 600 to 800 words, the introduction is probably going to be maybe 150 words, and the same for the conclusion. That means your body paragraphs are each only going to be about 250 words and synthesize in evidence from at least 3 sources. So that's a lot to do in a few number of words. So you're probably thinking, why are we doing this in so few words? Well, because most professional writing and professional environments require us to get to the point quickly, provide our evidence, and convince our audience quickly. So the 600 to 800 word requirement is to help us prepare for professional and further academic expectations. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to where we had left off. So there's a great video here to help you with the APA formatting, additional resources about APA linking and the appeal process. Please make sure you review all of that information. I'm going to click on Pew, and it's going to bring up a categorized list of issues in our society. Remember, most of these are huge issues. How do we narrow them to make them more feasible? So to follow up on some trends such as social media and the Netflix documentary, Social Dilemma, I'm thinking I want to look into social media, which is down here alphabetized. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on social media, and it will open up additional articles and pages about social media. And I'm kind of thinking, Okay, there's obviously some political stuff. We're coming up on a major election year. One of the things on the homepage of the course asks students to please make sure they're doing their civic duty and participate in the voting process. I'm continuing to scroll down through these social media topics to try to find one that I think might be narrow enough for me to evaluate in a 600 to 800 word essay and focus on solutions. So I was also thinking COVID might be a really important topic, but I don't have a solution for COVID. So I see this one here that says Facebook posts about it, COVID, appeared in a wide range of public pages and groups. So I kind of like this idea because I can definitely see how social media contributed to some hysteria across our country, toilet paper shortages and all kinds of other things. Had we all not been following it so closely on social media, would we have had the same response? Most likely not. So this is a really documented, detailed article. I have graphs, I have statistics, I have multiple authors, so it suggests that they're working as a team. It explains where their research was developed. I really like this article. So one of the things that Pew does for us, it does allow us to, share it, or I can pretend I'm going to print it and then save it as a PDF. Anytime you find an article that you think you're going to use, I would recommend that you save it as a PDF, and then next step would definitely be to take down all the publication information. Because we have been granted access to Pew, it's a paid service through the college, it's not necessarily going to be sufficient to just copy and paste the URL. So we would want to make sure that we download the article, save the article, and then take down our publication information. Our publication information, again, is going to be OWL based. So I'm going to go ahead to OWL. And we are going to look briefly at the APA formatting. My next video that I'll post for you the beginning of next week is really going to be about paraphrasing and more about APA. Okay. So this took me to a page I wasn't expecting to pop up. So let me do another search, APA OWL, which is really bizarre that it didn't bring it up automatically. It didn't remember me, I guess. All right, so general formatting for APA guidelines. Font is still, the either 12-point Times New Roman or 11-point Calibri, because Calibri is a little bit bigger. Basic guidelines. When it comes to your sources, they're now going to be called a reference list rather than a works cited list. So MLA was works cited, but for APA, it's going to be our references. So we're using electronic sources. So I would follow the format provided on this page for an online database. So journal article, periodicals, online news article, dissertation, thesis, dictionary, keep going till we find the one we want. I might have skimmed over it. Let me go back up into this area where we were talking about online periodicals, online scholarly journals. It does list Wikipedia as a potential source. I really encourage students to stay away from Wikipedia. It is not validated. You can use it as a, absolute basic understanding for something. And then if you want to follow up with the researching the sources that it used, that would be sufficient. But please do not use Wikipedia as one of your sources. So it gives us the basic information of what we're going to do if we're using an online piece of content. I'm going to start with the first name, comma, or the last name, comma, first initials. If you have multiple authors, you will list all of the authors up to 5 in this reference list. So we had 3 authors. We're going to list all 3 of our authors. Then we're going to identify the year, month, and date of publication. Then the title of the page, then the site name, and the URL. It's going to be your most basic web page content. So if we just try to learn the format, it's a lot easier than having to continuously jump back and forth to all of these bibliography makers and things of that sort. Okay, so we jumped to OWL because it's new to us and we're learning it. But once you get accustomed to it, it does become quite a bit easier to just draft the citation on your own. So here's the article that we were just talking about. Yes, it is a long title, so you can try to take advantage of your copy and paste tool. Some of the databases and some online resources will tell you how to cite this source. This one does not. Okay, so you keep that in mind. So that was accessed by clicking on the Pew Research Center in our social science essay guidelines. The goal for the week is to complete the Social Science Explore lesson. It, of course, begins with the Social Science Reading 1 to get us acquainted with the idea of social sciences. Then the guidelines and choosing our topic. We have this Mission Impossible thing to get us thinking a little bit more about what is a problem solution essay. Then we have the Candles in the Sun, which brings up music. Many popular musicians have made songs currently about racial conflicts or police brutality issues or Blue Lives Matter or COVID and the impacts of isolation. So music can often be a reflection of a society and the issues of that society. So this discussion forum is intended to help students think about that. And you're responding to the lyrics in this Candles in the Sun song. And then finally, the last thing of the lesson is that you're submitting your topic. So the Pew search is really important to help you decide your topic. Remember, the topic is going to be based on the solutions. You're researching potential solutions. Obviously, if something is still a problem, then you're speculating a little bit. You're using inference. You're saying, well, you know, we've done this and I can document this research, but this solution hasn't worked yet. So maybe we should do this. It is still going to be somewhat opinion-based. Still all third person, no I's. No I, my, me, you, we, our, or us, anywhere in the problem solution social science paper. That includes in all of your developmental pieces. So the discussion forum should all be third person. The social science responses should all be third person. Okay. Please also make sure that when we're contributing to discussion forums that we are responding to a peer. Communication between other students will help people narrow their topics, help them to think about new ideas, and help them to think about the world around us. So the participation in the discussion forum does require communicating with other students. For the past lesson, students might not have been reduced in points if they didn't communicate. This unit, I will start implementing a reduction of points if students are not completing the discussion, meaning that they post and intelligently respond to a peer. Please make sure to do both portions. Okay, so that wraps up the review of the Exploring Your Social Science topic. Hopefully you found this helpful. As always, please email or message me if you need assistance with anything. I'm here to help you be successful. The grades for the humanities unit will be posted shortly. So please, if you haven't gotten that assignment done, please get it done as soon as possible. And remember, if you did get it done, give yourself a hug, pat on the back. And if you're not quite there yet, you're going to get it done real soon. Okay. Thank you for participating. I hope this was helpful. And I will be back with you all again soon.